What's going on, everybody? Fall in, add attention. You are locked into another episode of the Husker Army podcast, brought to you by the folks over at Herd at Sports Network, and of course, the great folks over at the Husker Army Facebook fan page. Go check those guys out. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure to leave us a like and subscribe. Make sure to hit that bell notification. You'll know when our new videos are uploaded. And then, of course, as always, I've got to let you know about the merch, everybody. You go over to herdatsports.com, you'll find all the Husker Army merch. We got the shirts, the dad and trucker hats, the beanies, stainless steel tumblers, the coffee mugs. And like I always say, these are not the only colors and styles it comes in. This stuff's awesome. Just go check it out if you get a chance. Really helps us out. So, I am your host, Brian Knutson. With me, as always, former Husker wide receiver and multi-time national champ Kenny Cheatham, a.k.a. KC. And joining us today to help recap the Indiana game is former Blackshirt and national champion himself, Mr. Kareem Moss. Kareem, how you doing today, my friend?
Oh, I ain't too bad. Could be better, but, could be worse.
Absolutely could be better. And, of
Yeah.
course, being on the Husker Army, I mean, we had you on last year. During the bye week as well, we did Husker Nostalgia. We had you and a few of the other guys from back in the glory days, the early 90s, even late 80s. It was great. So, of course, we got to show that you are now fully enlisted into the Husker Army. You see it right there.
Let's go.
Dapper in the suit, dude. To the nine. Looking sharp, dude.
Let's go.
I dig that photo.
The pinstripe with the pinstripe, baby.
Oh,
taking it
shit,
back,
like
man.
on point. I mean,
I was
just
living
on
in DC.
point.
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, this crap we've got to talk about. I mean, damn. 56-7 in Bloomington. Look, I got to be honest. I didn't see this coming. I really didn't, especially from our defensive standpoint. That we've shown that that's our biggest strength all season so far, and they got smoked. And personally, it's not even that they had better talent. This is what we're going to probably talk about most in this episode is our guys got out coached. Mm-hmm. Matt Rule and Tony White and the entire staff got out coached. That kind of worries me just a tad bit. With Signetti, that smug son of a that guy will rub you the wrong way pretty easily. I'll tell you that right now. And he did instantly for me. But what first year coach at Indiana, they're now 7-0. I mean, they showed that offense really is for real. And their defense exposed our offense even more, unfortunately. So, I mean, Kenny, let's throw it to you first, man. Looking at the offensive side of the ball, I mean, we've seen the struggles we've had so far, especially second halves of games. But we've always kind of written that off as, we've had the lead. We didn't need the points. We're getting the W, which is still A-okay. And I'm all for that in the game. But to come out and only score 7 points in this entire game, and it wasn't penalties or anything like that, but the name of the game was turnovers, and we had 5 of them. Well, I don't think we'd had 5 through 6 games. So what do we do there?
Oh, man. You can't win a game when you're turning the ball over that amount of times and in those type of situations. The one going in to score the interception, the fumble, things like that. You're putting your defense in a bad position, and you're not giving them enough time on the sideline. Once again, is what we've been doing the last couple of years with Nebraska football to get a little strength back and come in and, be refreshed. So it's kind of deflating on both sides of the ball. One, when you turn it over, one for the defense, knowing they got to stop to put us in position to get the ball. But I personally saw where this game was heading once we fielded the ball on about the 1 or 2 yard line. Personally, I said, here we go. And
Thank you.
I know he's young, but here's a jewel I'm going to drop real quick. I'm kind of like Rain Man, and I remember stuff. and a lot of things. There's certain things you're taught as a young kid. And I'm going to tell you, y'all see the guy over there? Let me do it this way. That's the guy you're looking at in the legendary photo, the one and only K Moss, one of my big bros. So this guy, I'm a freshman. I'm getting acclimated to college football. And they said, Ken, go back there on kickoffs. 2 guys told me, hey, man, don't do that. One was Kareem and one was B. Miles. Ball was going out of bounds. They were like, nah, just let it go. Because you always want to try to make a play. But they were like, just know where you're at. Kareem is the one who told me because he was a punt returner. People have to remember that. I think a lot of times you forget certain players. I don't know why, but you need to remember who was who. I can go to what everybody did and all of that stuff.
You'll forget a guy that was a Blackshirt, playing in the secondary, a rover back.
Yeah.
Returning kicks and punts.
Yeah, and I won't, because these are the guys who shaped me as a young pup, like, hey, bro, you can't do that. Boom, boom, boom. These are the guys who told me, man, you got to do this because it's not about you. You get what I'm saying? So I get it. Kareem was the one who told me on things like the punt. Hey, if your heels are on the 10, don't go back and get it. Let it go in the end zone. So this is something that's ingrained in me. This is something when I still see guys running back to catch punts when they're on the 10 and back up, that you say, what are you doing? But when you see returning kicks is it's actually the easiest of all.
Yes.
The ball is rotating. It's coming to you. You get up underneath it and you're running. Yeah. So you can see where the ball is heading. You can actually get a judge on the way the ball is going to bounce. But once that happened, I said, oh, snap. Here we go. Yeah. So it just set the stage for what happened the rest of the game. And it was just downhill from there.
Yeah. Kareem, I mean, we've seen it all season. We talked about it just before recording, the hype all season long with Raiola and this wide receiver core, and especially the running backs, the stable we've got in there. It's ridiculous how deep that room is right now. And I don't think we've had one that deep in quite some years. So to see a guy like Raiola, a young man like Raiola, we got to remember he's only 19 and a true freshman. To see him struggle the way he did, and to see the running games kind of be stagnant the way it was, should we have cause for concern on the offensive line right now, do you think?
I would say so. When you had a ball, we had the ball, looks like 32 minutes and 8 seconds. They had it 27 minutes and 52 seconds.
Yeah, won the time of possession battle even.
How you come up with 56 points out of that? We only come up with 7. You feel what I'm saying? There's something definitely is wrong somewhere, And one of the first things, I don't like to point the finger too much, because it sounds like we have talent, and it sounds like we have depth. So one of the first things, one of my concerns was that I saw the interview for what's Indiana's head coach? I'm sorry on his name.
I forget his first name, but the last name's Cignetti.
Cignetti, okay. Cignetti was wanting to change and rewrite history around his time and on his watch.
Yeah.
So he had a different approach to the game than I saw Matt Rule. He's intense, but he's kind of safe with it, And one of my concerns was why is Indiana so successful all of a sudden? It's all about your attitude. It's what you, and it's from the top down, and you got to buy into a system. And what system are you buying into? And if you say you got the talent there and so on and so forth, and the depth. And then, like I say, we had the ball more. We had 11 total drives. They had 12. We had 75 total plays. They had 63.
Penalty yardage was pretty much even. I think there was a yard
you see
difference.
Where I'm going with it, So it, then now it's execution, and you don't just blame the coach for, I ain't just calling out anybody, any coach or Rule or what have you, Cignetti or what have you, because even after coaching, you got to execute. You got to execute. So what are you doing? Are you arm tackling or are you knocking the ball loose? They had 5 turnovers. To our, how many turnovers?
3 interceptions, 2 fumbles.
We had 5 that they won turnover. We got an
Yep.
interception. We had 3 picks and 2 lost fumbles. So
Yep.
they want the ball, it sounds like, you know. They trying to make stuff happen on defense. And that's execution. That's what system are you buying into? And then on further on up the line, what as far as the coach, what systems putting out there for these kids to play and buy into? And then the attitude.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a lot, man. You know, I could go on and go on. But, you know, I'm trying to start. I'm trying to start where it matters. You know,
Right.
and where it
Right.
really matters. You know, and I don't pose no excuse for anybody. You know, especially if you getting, you know, they get paid now.
Yeah.
You getting paid now.
They've got
So you
jobs
know,
already now.
yeah, you know, and then not only that, you know, the coaches are getting they're on a scale to where, you know, they're millionaires. And then, you know, what are you promoting as a coach? What are you pushing? What system? Or are you just riding the clock? Because we want to be entertained. You know, we buy tickets, we change our Saturdays up, we switch them up to try to tune into the games. You know, we're rearranging our schedules. We're buying stuff so that we flying in, flying out. You know, this, I mean, over here as a fan, because I am a fan too. I love the game of football.
Mhm.
And as a fan, I like to watch good football. And I don't care who playing, you know. I don't care
Mhm.
if you're 70-0 and you playing somebody that's 0-70. I expect to see a good game. I
Mhm.
Yeah.
mean, if you or fold your team up, or don't present a football team because somebody gonna get hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, to say the least. You know, especially
Yeah.
you know,
And
it's crazy.
I'm glad. And here's what I'm happy about. What Kareem said, especially from the beginning, when he said attitude. This is one of those things that I've tried to explain to people for years since we've been doing this podcast, and it's not received the right way by everyone because all I hear is excuses.
Hmm.
And when I said this years ago, and Brian, you'll probably remember, once they become your kids, you coach them up.
Yes.
And
You've
people
said
have
that
to
numerous times.
and people were in their feelings when I said that about Scott when he took the job at Nebraska. I
Yep.
said once they become your kids, you coach them up.
Hmm.
So this goes to show everyone in Husker Nation who's made 1,000,005 excuses about why Nebraska has needed such a long time to start building back up. It's about attitude. It's about what you come in with as a coach, and it's about expectations. Because there's no way in hell that you can tell me at this point that this coach can come to Indiana and they have been more stockpiled than the University of Nebraska has been in the last couple of years. Now, granted, he has benefited from the portal, and so has Nebraska.
Yeah.
But Nebraska people forget that. You forget about the Casey Thompsons, you forget about the other ones, you forget about the Torrey, you forget about the Palmers, and you forget about everyone else who has come into this program on both sides of the ball and helped us since the transfer portal has been in play. And it's upsetting, and this is for me for telling, but put that to bed that we need all this time to do these things. You can come in and you can get it done. It's not me saying anything about the coaching staff. It's just that whole mind frame that we need so many years to do this when you can get these other coaches who go in these programs and have success. What people tried to argue with me was, oh, Urban Meyer jumped into Ohio State. Yes, he jumped into Ohio State that time, but what the hell was his expectations?
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Championships.
Expectation. And
And
then
if I'm
development.
correct, I think they won it. Or the next year they won it. Because the next year they were undefeated or something. They couldn't go to the bowl game. The next year they won it.
Yeah. Yeah. They were still under NCAA sanction.
Yeah.
And they went undefeated anyway,
Yeah,
but couldn't go to a bowl game.
Yeah, but this is my whole thing. And this is what I've been trying to say to people. This is I know Nebraska fans hate him. I don't have a problem with the dude. The PJ Fleck, he came in there with expectation for them to win. And they've been okay. They've been winning.
He has turned Minnesota around in a lot of ways.
It's all about attitude. It's all about expectation. If you come in here from the jump, say this is what I expect from you. Instead of the excuses we've heard, oh, I need to get these players, I need to get that, I need to get this, I need to get that. It's the players. That's bullshit to me. And it always was. And you come in, you coach them up, and you get them ready, and you prepare them, and you set the expectation. If they don't make the next expectation, next man up, you get in there and get it done until we find the ones that's going to do it. So
Right. So the bill off of expectations, that goes along. It goes a few different ways because if you ain't really been in that fight, your
right.
expectations ain't really they're a little different from that dog that's really in that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So but those that ain't really been in that fight, they gotta allow those that's been in that fight
Right.
to teach those that ain't been in the fight. Because you can't tell me that if you ain't played in a national championship game, you gonna tell me how it is to play if you never done it, you can't tell me how it is. You feel what I'm saying? If you ain't played in 110-degree weather, you know what I'm saying, and still balled out, but you was tired because you playing for so long, you got tomorrow to rest, so on and so forth. If you ain't never done that, you can't. Your expectations ain't like mine. So you got these systems, and then even after expectations, if you ain't never done it, you gotta be into development. You know what I mean? You got to, like you say, Kenny, you got to coach up. I call it developing.
Yep.
Mm.
Everybody on my squad over here, on my bench over here, gonna be ready to get in the game, and that's gonna be up to me as a coach. That's up to me. I coach what 8, 9, 10-year-olds now, man, and I'm
Oh,
trying to get all of them prepared. You know what I mean? To play, you got to understand how to play. You got to understand how to tackle without getting hurt. You got to keep your head up. You got to teach certain things, and if you got to, whoever come in there, that last man on that bench got to be ready to play. Cause every kid, it ain't that serious right now. You can
yeah.
get paid, but you ain't getting paid. So somebody else gonna play. I ain't
Yep.
making it today cause my grades, so on and so forth. So everybody gotta be able to play, be developed as a coach. You gotta develop your last man. Your weakest link gotta be sometimes your best one over there, sitting over
Yep.
there from a coaching standpoint. Because if he ain't ready physically, he got to be ready. He understand. He can see what's going on, and he helping his teammates. Everybody got a role. You ain't listen. You ain't finished to sit over here and steal no scholarship. And I mean, as a coach, you ain't just gonna get stealing money as a coach either. You gonna get called out. And I ain't gonna say I'm the one. I ain't built for that because I got other stuff to do. But at some point, man, I'm gonna be like, man, come on, man, come on,
Right.
bro, come on, bro. I ain't just out here, But I went to Nebraska, man, for 3 years, bro. I
Yep.
got expectations. I got expectations, sitting back. You understand what I mean? Y'all took some time out of my life. I mean, some time out of my life came through the road of Nebraska. So and then I wasn't too bad. We wasn't too bad when we came through there. We set
Yeah.
we set
No.
standards, bro. You feel me? We got expectations, man. You understand what I'm saying? The hype is gone now. We came up to Colorado 1994, 30-year national championship. It was a lot of hype out there, you know what I mean? And it was a lot of hype to play off of. And we gotta keep that type of stuff going, that type of energy going, man. You gotta keep going. We gotta feel welcome around there, man. So we
Didn't
can
I say
have
that last week? Didn't I
yeah,
say that
man.
last week, Brian? Didn't I
Yep.
say that?
Man, listen, man. We got expectations. You can't hide. I mean, a lot of people that got them expectations. Okay, we're gonna give so many years. Let so many years go by. So we're gonna bring a coach in here. Listen, okay, all right, but no, that ain't what we want. We tired. We want to
Thank
win
you.
now. We want
Thank
to
you.
win because we
God.
can. We got
Thank you.
tradition. Some of our tradition is bigger than we got some of the biggest, one of the biggest traditional as far as winning expectations in the country in the history of college football. If y'all help me get my words together, you feel what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
So we got expectations. We done been in some dog fights, man. We done lost some and we done won
Yep.
some. We got expectations. You can't just ride the train by. We're gonna wave at you and say, "Hey, yeah, 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 go. Let's go play another game. No, let's go win another game. Let's
Mhm.
go. Let's go win another game." I'm tired of playing. I'm tired of man. I'm down here, man. It ain't a lot of people from Nebraska and South Carolina and Spartanburg, South Carolina. So I'm gonna get a lot of shit when I walk out here with my stuff on. You feel what I'm saying? And if we losing, man, it ain't gonna be a good day for me, man. I mean,
No.
it ain't so bad as we losing. We ain't even fucking competing, man.
Thank you.
You ain't even compete, man. You ain't smack. This dude just ran 80 yards on you for some reason. You know, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get you back on the next play. You ain't gonna do that shit again. You're not gonna do it again. I'm sorry. You're not gonna be able to do it. And it ain't enough of that going on, man. You know, you just they got us. Okay, well sure. And then you gotta keep your troops rallied, man. I hate to take the mic, but you know, it comes back to development. Who's going to develop who's doing the developing? You know, one of the first thing I heard, and then after the press conference was, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
You don't
And he
watch
said,
film?
"I'm sorry," but he did say he was embarrassed, and he should be.
We all are embarrassed, and I hate that you're the
Yeah.
man sitting in the seat, but we all are embarrassed, man. We all are. You see what you mean? But that approach, I didn't see that comment. Don't they got film? Who you looking for? You skipped over them, and you looking for Ohio State because
And
Ohio
coming
State
off a
don't win.
bye week.
Man,
I mean,
I
I
just
hate
see
to throw salt in the wound, but off a bye week, I mean,
I just
come
said,
on.
man, it's great. I see a lot of things wrong, man. I see a lot of good things. I see a lot of potential, and that's why I'm so intense with it. But I see a lot of things wrong. I see a lot of expectations lowered from the '90s. You know, that's just it ain't. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
it's
man.
literally you got fans
It's
saying
crazy.
we just want to make a bowl game, and that's
Yeah,
never been,
that's
especially
crazy.
from your guys' standpoint as former players, that was not even one of the expectations. Period. That
We're
was
going to the
just
bowl game.
that was done before the season started.
We're going to the bowl. We're going to the bowl game because we're gonna win the conference. We want to win the conference. You know, I know
Exactly.
it's the Big A is a little different back then, but you know, shit, we end up winning because we wanted to compete. We didn't care who we
Yes.
play. What we say, Kenny, we got tired of getting stepped on.
Yeah.
We got tired of
Yeah.
getting stepped on. And we wasn't the biggest team. We might have been one of the quickest teams. We wasn't the
Yeah.
biggest team.
Yes.
We had a big ass offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were some
We
pretty
had a
big
big ass
boys, dude.
offensive line. But everybody else was quick. Everybody else
Mhm.
had that heart.
Yeah.
Your second team had heart. Man, some of these cats playing today couldn't walk in the shoes that Jock walked in. You remember Jock? What's Jock's last name on Scout
Al-
team back in the day?
Jock
Jock
Allen.
Allen. Man, he'll start now and make money, man, right now. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Based on, and I ain't taking nothing away from him, but we just had that depth, you know. We just had a lot of depth back then. And it was in the heart because a lot of people, you know, man, it's crazy.
And
No,
Kareem,
I
I gotta give Kareem kudos for coaching 8, 9, 10-year-olds because in a lot of ways, dude, that's way, way tougher than coaching high school, college,
Yeah,
NFL.
you gotta have
You're
some
dealing
patience.
with attention spans that might last 30 seconds, dude.
Hmm.
So,
And they show it. They're gonna show it too. But
and
you
you're
know,
able
these
to
people,
wrangle that
yeah.
in,
yeah,
man. Kudos to you,
Yeah.
man. That
yeah,
is
man.
amazing.
That's
Hey,
Go
hey,
ahead,
man.
Kenny. Sorry about
those,
that.
those, no, you're fine. I said those little dudes have the attention span of an ADHD gnat.
Man,
They just
tell
be
me.
everywhere bouncing around.
Hey, I got
So,
a
but
9-year-old, so I had to figure it out, y'all.
oh man, but no, it's cool and this is dope because to hear Kareem say and repeat stuff I've said over show after show after show after show after show. I hope people catch that. I really hope they understand that because he's just said things I've been repeating over the last umpteenth years doing this podcast.
It's
That we have
time,
an
man. It's time to get it.
expectation
Mhm.
that has been lowered, and you need to understand to the former players when we're going off and we're pissed and we're edgy that it is unacceptable.
That's
And
unacceptable.
if they had lost like to Illinois, yeah, it's a loss, but we can eat that.
Yeah.
But to go there and just get dismantled, and like I text you, Brian, I said, oh, they getting throttled out there on the field.
Literally.
To where body language changed on
Yes.
both sides of the ball, and it was like they were picking us apart. But to hear, I didn't expect that when you've had 2 weeks
Yeah.
to prepare. That's crazy. Now I'm not trashing that, all the coach. No, but you had 2 weeks to prepare, and how can you say
Yeah.
you didn't expect that? But our expectations are high, and they're going to always remain high,
Across the board.
especially for former players. We never lowered our standards.
Yeah.
So people have to understand, you know, this is why people might say, "Oh, but he did this and that." People have to understand. This is why we were tolerant, and we were like, "Okay, we understand the bad losses he may have had or whatever happened." Coach Pelini, but you know what? We were still 9.5 to 10 wins, and we were respected. This is why a lot of us felt a certain way when Coach Riley was hired. We was like, "What are y'all doing?"
We got Mr. Rogers.
We're like, we've lowered the expectation. You get what I'm saying? Because this isn't a winning coach that you're bringing in here. And then you go into Scott and you say, hopefully, then you see the first. You're like, wait a minute. And you hear all the stuff. You're like, nah. Because it was years of the same stuff in which we, former players, sit here and go, no. To where we damn near have to say, well, let's just get a bowl game because y'all don't understand how we get ate up or eaten up as former players.
Right.
Kareem Sades, pardon me, he home. Ain't no really Nebraska people there. Oh, he wear that. They'll be like, oh my God. And people have to understand, Nebraska fans do it. Outsiders who's watching this, Nebraska has done a lot for college football. Overall, from the red shirting rule to the all kind of other stuff. We have made a lot of college football programs relevant. And like I told people, we built Florida State by them coming to Lincoln and beating Nebraska in the 70s.
Yep.
That's what
even the 80s.
In the 80s. That's what built Florida State. We built Miami. If Coach Osborne go for the tie, Miami doesn't blow up like that. It may be a little slower, but they don't do that. We have that title. That's more recruits coming to Nebraska. You do what I'm saying? You see how just little things change? We've put a lot of schools and teams on the map by just them beating us.
Yeah.
And competing with us. And just like I said, the overall thing of college football, we're so historic that there's other schools. I have Michigan fans, Ohio State fans, and all these others. Man, we hope to see y'all back up there again. But you know what I'm saying? So it's something. So we just need to do better, man. That was a horrible game. That was the games we saw the last couple of years, and they need to fix that ASAP.
That's what I thought we were done with.
Yeah, them kind you can't finish watching, man.
And to build on what you guys are saying, somewhat on the expectations part. Speaking of Raiola, and I mean all the expectations that young man's had coming in, and since the season has started, I'm saying this without being disrespectful, and I'm not downing the young man whatsoever because he's absolutely,
he's all right. He's
absolutely the most talented quarterback we've had here in quite a long time. I finally saw him questioning himself in the pocket during that game. The offensive line at times was given the time, and you could see him going through progressions, and there were times he was unsure whether he wanted to let it rip or not, and it cost him quite a few times. So there in turn, that's where we saw the inexperience, we saw the age. It's something, and I have absolutely all the faith in the world that he will correct that himself. He will go back and he's going to see all this in film.
He's a kid, man. Like you say, he's a kid, man.
Exactly.
He's gonna be fine, man. Long as he don't get underdeveloped, and I don't see that happening.
Yes,
he's gonna be fine.
Right.
He just gotta.
I don't think his dad would have let him come here if he thought he'd get underdeveloped.
Right. Even outside of just because he's gonna get the proper resources so he can get better. Even if he don't get what he needs here, he's gonna get what he needs, and that's that would be kind of unfortunate if that's the only way he developed. But he's gonna be fine, man. He's gonna be fine. We just need to build around him, and make sure he keeps getting developed, and give him what he needs. He needs a little time. He needs more options, as far as who he needs to go to, and that's play calling, because a different scheme or a different look every now and then won't hurt what's going on, what we throwing at people with different personnel. If we have that type of depth, then we can come up with some different personnel. And he's poor. He showed me enough to where he can do what he needs to do. He just needs to be exposed to certain situations so he can
He had
grow.
2 or 3 touch passes that were
Right.
just
So he can
couldn't have
grow a
been
little
any
bit.
better.
Yeah, that's all, man. He gonna be fine. I think he's in the right place too. He just need to get the right help and the right
Yeah.
resources. You know.
I'm happy to see that he was kind of questioning himself a little bit, because then that made me finally understand and feel that he's not just this cocky young freshman. He
Mhm.
understands that he gets rattled as well, just like anybody else does. I don't care who you are. I guarantee Tom Brady was nervous before every single playoff and Super Bowl he played in. Didn't matter
Yeah,
how many
man.
times you'd been there.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Just how he bounced back. Now it's gonna have to be how he bounced back now, to that
Yeah.
adversity, because he didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of thinking, and a lot of
Well,
checking down and so on and so forth. So he gonna be fine, man. He in a good
well.
spot.
And that's why I'm glad you're on here, Kareem, because you're the former Blackshirt dude. So speaking of bouncing back, that defense, look, we hadn't given up a rushing touchdown all season, only team in college football to have that stat. And these guys go ahead and just, to the tone of 5 of them on the ground against that defense.
Mm.
And then not to mention the way they threw it. Rourke was accurate. He was smart with the ball. He was on point. The receivers were finding the soft spots in the zone. We were getting beaten man coverage. Buford wasn't getting his head around. There was at least a couple times. I know if he at least would have just turned his head around, he would have gotten his hand or his arm in the right spot to knock it away or possibly pick it off. But it just looked like wasn't everybody on Indiana's offense one step ahead of our defense? Is that how it
Yeah,
looked to
absolutely.
you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We were looks like we were going through the motions. Looks like they were playing the game. So
Yes.
when you play the game, just second nature, you start making adjustments to I'm gonna get open, as opposed to I'm gonna make sure I run a 12-yard route and cut here. You feel what I'm saying? You might gonna do what you need to do to get open, especially if you're getting beat, like you're getting beat, you're gonna find a way to compete. It's just the bottom line. And if we hadn't given up a rushing touchdown all year, I'm gonna take some pride in that. So
Yeah.
we're going to Indiana. We're gonna play at Memorial Stadium, right? But
Mm-hmm.
today, this our Memorial Stadium. This we going this
Yes.
how we. That's my motto coming in. I'm gonna find something to build off of in my own mind. You feel what I'm saying? This my Memorial Stadium day. This our Memorial Stadium. Y'all can have it back when we get through. We'll see y'all later when we get done. Just a certain approach, some type of mentality, man. I think I got a lot of this post frustration after I seen that game. As opposed to how would I approach this?
Yeah.
How would I even approach Indiana, being as though they don't have no football history like we do? How would I go into that game? Would it be like Iowa State when we went to Iowa State and they hadn't beat us in 30 years and they tore down the goalpost? You feel what I'm saying?
1992.
Man, that shit hurt right there. I wasn't that. You don't want to be on that side of history, man. That's just not how. That's not why you play the game. And
No.
unfortunately, some people gonna be on that side, but I ain't trying to be that one. I feel as though I'm a little exception on that. I'm exceptional to that rule, and I'm hoping some guys that came up here with me feel the same way, so that we not nobody putting up 56 points on us. Nobody putting up 56
No.
points on us, man. They'll call it. We ain't got enough people to play, because everybody done got ejected out of the game because they tired of getting their ass whooped. So, for somebody to put up 56 points, man, I just that's just crazy, man. I don't care where we are, man. Nobody. That's me though. That's this, and they always say, well, you don't know what you'll do till you get in that situation. All right.
You've been in that situation, though.
All right. Yeah, that's what I mean, all right. To Indiana though, come on, man.
I
No
know.
disrespect. No
No,
disrespect to Indiana. No
no,
disrespect.
but they are a basketball school. I
Right,
mean,
right.
come on.
Our basketball
Historically,
school fed off of us back then a little bit too. They started getting in the mix of things, because we kind of
yeah.
hung out together, so we had certain conversations. You got a certain energy, man. We want to come to y'all basketball game. We ain't trying to come see no. You see what I'm saying? So that energy can spread around to your different teams, and a different. I feel like like you say, Kenny, certain teams, they became relevant, even beating us, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a certain energy that's passed around.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of stole it from them Florida schools when we started hitting them in the
Mm-hmm.
mouth. You feel what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then people started seeing, it ain't just Florida, Texas, and California no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's playing all the Ohio states and Michigans. Nebraska always kind of been in it, but they ain't really been busting people in their mouth, like, to win the big game. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then that changed up in the 90s. That energy trying to try kind of shifted around a little bit after we lost it. Some other schools got it, but we gotta keep that. We gotta keep that competitive energy if nothing else, man. 56 points. That's just that. That's crazy.
It's
That's just crazy.
unacceptable.
Yeah, man. And
It's
I'm speaking
absolutely unacceptable. I,
from the
I,
black the
I
black
didn't see it. I
perspective. Go
didn't
ahead.
see
I'm
it
sorry.
coming. Not against the defense that we've seen play all this year. Even in the loss to Illinois, I mean they played a much better game in that second half, in my opinion. Other than allowing those dink and dunk passes,
Mm.
that's just irritating to me in any game, no matter how you look at it, because it just drives me crazy to see somebody sit in a soft spot in the zone and just say, "Hey, I'm open. Throw it right here. Hey, free
So we
10
didn't make
yards."
no adjustments was made, right? That's what it
That's
sounds
the
like.
other thing that is either puzzling or it could be extremely upsetting, because knowing that this coaching staff is absolutely capable of making adjustments at half times, we've seen them make adjustments during games. They did it against Purdue, they did it against Rutgers, especially defensively. They made adjustments as the game went along. So to think that this coaching staff wouldn't have made an adjustment at halftime, I would think would just be completely asinine, because they had to have. And then, but whatever adjustment they made, just sure as hell did not work. And if they
Hey,
attempted to make adjustments as the second half was going along, those weren't working either. So no matter what the game plan was, it wasn't working.
yeah. 0 for 5 on fourth down conversions,
Yep.
7 for 16 on third down conversions. They had
Below
7 point.
50%.
We gave up almost 8 yards per play to
That's
our
not
4
surprising.
4.1. 4.1 ain't bad, but 8 yards a play is exceptional.
Yeah. Yeah, when they're almost doubling up your yards per play. Yeah.
234 passing. They had 280 to our 234. 28 to 46 completions to their 24 of 30 completions.
Yeah.
9.3 per pass play to our 5.1. They had 3 touchdowns, so they got some points. So
Yep.
it ain't so bad. It comes back to execution. What are
Yeah.
you doing with that time when we had that ball? We had it 32 minutes, and they had it 27 minutes. What were we doing with it?
We had
You know,
3 long drives that spanned, I think, well over 5 to 7 minutes, and had 0 points to show for it. Not to mention, we couldn't even attempt a damn field goal because of all the damn kicking woes we've got this year. And Alvano's still not 100%. So there's no sense in throwing, I think it would have been the third string kicker in there to try a field goal, no matter where we were. And then by the time we were so far into the red zone where that was plausible, we're so far behind that 3 points would have done no good.
yeah.
Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
I mean, man, it's just that was all bad. Like Kareem said, that 56 points is unacceptable. Like that 0 we put up against Arizona State.
Mm.
Yeah.
I went ballistic after that game. At 96, I went crazy because during the game, I had teammates like, "Oh, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right." And I said, "No, shit is going bad out here. Everything coach said that we were doing in practice is happening here. This confidence needs to stop."
Mhm.
Because one, we were tired. It was a late game. So that was 8-something starts. It was like a 10-something start for us.
Yeah.
So it's after midnight and we're still playing technically Nebraska time. You get what I'm saying? So we're worn down. I'm like, we're not coming back. And I'm telling guys, y'all think this is sweet. You know, shit, I'm embarrassed. I'm at home. All my partners is in the stands.
Oh.
That's being recruited. All my buddies on the other sideline. Can you imagine? You know, all my family's in the stands, but not just for my sake, but just the fact that we had that confidence of this and that. But like Kareem said, that 59 points, whatever, is unacceptable. 50-something, that 0 was unacceptable. But it was like defensively, from what I was seeing, they did what we should have been doing. And we could not stop the back shoulder throw.
No. Mark was on point with it.
I think they might have had about 7 or 8, maybe 10 of those completions during that game. That back toward the sideline. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't adjust to say, hey, the moment you see him react, put your hand up, turn your head. That means the ball's there. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we saw it numerous times.
We're playing man-to-man primarily, right?
Yeah.
And they just kept hitting us with the same stuff. And then running the ball and then giving up third downs for them to get first and just giving up dink and dunk plays. Overall, it was just a terrible game to watch. It was one of those that was hard to watch. It was one of those where you turn in and you start watching other teams play and you flick back to it and say, oh, hell. You know what I mean?
I was this close.
And I was like, oh, I can't keep watching this because my eyes are hurting. This is brutal. And I was like, let's get this game.
Second.
Let's get this game over with. It was what I was like, I almost was like, call off the dogs.
Yeah.
Because
you can't just start the game, can you? You got to keep going.
I'm like,
that's it, man.
God.
We quit. That's what it looked like. We quit, man. We ain't even got to fit y'all on, man. Y'all skunking. Just leave.
Yeah, when they had, I think it was 42 and the third quarter wasn't even over yet. I was like, oh God, I'm gonna sit and watch every damn second of this, but you don't let them hang like 70 on you. Come on,
they could have.
Yeah,
easily. I believe. Now look, that's Signetti, that little SOB. The fact that he ran that little trick play when they were up like 35 or 42-7 in late in the second half, that little it was a throw out, it was a double pass. I was like, oh, what are you doing? Really? Was that necessary?
Right.
You got this game won.
Well, he just, you couldn't do no wrong. At some point, you got your second string. He's 7 for 8. He got 2 touchdowns. They put in a third string. They started finna work on us. I mean, at some point, you just go ahead. When you got it like that, when you got it like that, you just go ahead and start developing everybody on your team.
Yeah.
Start putting them all in situations. You know what I mean?
You start working on little things, little tricks.
Yeah. I never tried. Let me try this now. I never, you might appoint somebody else to be the head coach for them. You start calling plays. You be OC, you be DC for them. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah, we put it out there. We let them play with us.
Literally, it looked like they were in a scrimmage. It really did. It looked like they were just running through practice.
And I got my stuff on. I got my cup here, man. I was ready for a whole different conversation, man.
I thought we were going to have a much better one too. I got to be honest. I really did. Look, I didn't buy into the Indiana hype. I really didn't because honestly, if you looked at their schedule up before this game, they really did play nobody. The only team you could say that they had really played against was UCLA. And up until yesterday, UCLA was 1-5. They finally got another win yesterday, so they're now 2-5.
But they putting up 40 points a game, B.
Exactly. Thank you. That's the only thing I was worried about.
I'm like, how is it turnovers? Is it all offense? Is it special teams and offense?
Lightning.
What is it? Let's see what it is. And you got to be not after the game say, I didn't see that coming because they've been putting up 40 points a game.
Where I didn't believe the hype was their defense. I honestly thought our offense would be able to move the ball on them, put up points, keep up with them, and with our defense, at least getting a few stops in order to keep pace or to take the lead, either one. So yeah, but I completely agree with you there, Kareem, that yes, they had an easy schedule up to that point, if you want to say that, but they were beating that easy schedule as you should, as you would like to.
I have never been the one to say y'all got an easy schedule. I never been the one, especially if you're undefeated. You done done everything you're supposed to do. So you're undefeated for a reason, because it's so much parity right now with this portal in college football. You better be ready to play on any given day. I don't care what you say. So it's really none of that easy schedule, especially nowadays. And I've always respected my opponent in the heat of battle. I've always respected my opponent, from the coaches to the top, to the bottom, the trainers, so on and so forth.
You didn't have to with Miami. We would have understood.
Well, I got, you know what I mean. I got it. And I respect them because of what they came from and how they built up. They was about to fold their football program, and look at them now. They making most of the money for their university. It's crazy. So
they built that university.
You feel what I'm saying? I respect my opponent, man, regardless of whatever. But I'm trying to beat your ass, for lack of a better word. Because,
that's what football is.
That's what it is, man. And I think we need to get we need to get, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't want nobody to think that I'm coming for anybody, because I don't know anybody. I hadn't met anybody to come at anybody. But we need to get people ready for football games and not tennis matches.
I agree. You can't come in and have something like this happen when you've had 2 weeks to prepare. That completely right there falls on the coaches. That's where it starts.
It's starting to become too soft for me. I mean, I know it's a sensitive area and all that, but let's just mix up a little old school football into that sensitive area shit, man. That's going on these days, cause that's what's separating the good from the great is the whole attitude and approach to the game of football. You know what I mean? If you're gonna approach football like you playing tennis, then you're not gonna beat me. You're just not gonna.
What if the Blackshirts, Kareem? What if they brought back the old the pit or the dungeon? What did you guys used to call that big locker room y'all used to just go down and beat the living hell out of each other in?
Oh, I did all my stuff on the field. I didn't have nobody put their hands on me. I put my feet on the field.
I remember them talking about it during the day-by-day documentary.
I think I missed that one. That might have been the 70s and 80s, man.
They were talking that like Christian Peter and those guys, they'd really get after it. And man, I guess you hear the pads pop and hear the echo really loud. I want to say they called it like the pit or something like that.
K Moss, they probably, you know what they're talking about? I think they're probably talking about old North Stadium, which is where we were at. Remember the old indoor where the freshman locker room was at?
That's probably it.
I got
the pit where they be down there and they go do some one-on-one with the linemen. They be
there. You go.
Yeah, you talking about the old locker room, the freshman. I came in. I was in JUCO when I came in, so I just did a walkthrough over there. I had 3 years of JUCO. I only played really 5 games of JUCO. I redshirted first year, and then my second year I played, but I got injured, so I really had another year in Nebraska when I left. Which when I acknowledged, but I could have came back after my senior year, Kenny, because of my I had an injury. But that's all good.
You could have came back and got that back-to-back ring there, Kareem.
You got me another ring, man. And probably would have been better off for that draft that was coming up.
Stock would have went up even higher.
Would have shot up, dude.
Yeah. It is cool.
Part of that defense too.
It's cool. That's a whole other documentary that we'll talk about.
That'd be cool. Have them do a documentary on the just the black shirts sometime. That would be nice. I would be totally down for that.
Yeah, man. So 56 points, 56 to 7. I mean, if we're gonna give up 50 cents, we gotta at least have 57 on our
Yeah. Kind of like Illinois and Purdue, I think it was last week. The final score is like 59 to 57 or 49 to 50, something like that. It was ridiculous.
They playing football. Ain't no defense, but they playing football.
One side of the ball is playing for both teams.
Yeah, somebody want to win.
Yeah, watch this. Hey, you did that. Watch this. See what I got.
Okay, all right. Okay. That's how we got to be. You know, we can't stop somebody. We got to at least put up some points.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, one more segment to get through. Definitely not going to do field generals of the week. You could make an argument for Fedoni on offense. He was really the best target all day. Emmett Johnson, he had some pretty good runs in there. Nothing spectacular. Defensively, definitely nobody earned one there. That just sucks to even say. I thought at least if we lose, I would have a defensive guy to put on there, but no, I don't think anybody earned any of that.
Who did anything if you gave up 56 points?
Thank you.
All right.
You're literally just going by who had the most tackles if you're going to go and give an accolade out for that. So
a 50 ball.
Exactly. I kept thinking of you too, Kenny. Every time I was like, if they put up 50 points, I can hear Kenny already. They put up a 50 ball on them.
Damn.
So now you know them Buckeyes. You know how many they're trying to put up.
Oh my God! I don't even want to think about that yet, Kareem.
Hey man,
I was extremely optimistic for that game up until this Indiana game.
And they're going to be pissed because they lost to Oregon.
Yes, and they had the bye week this week, so they've had 2 weeks to stew about that by that point.
Yeah, they ready. Oh, we're gonna be ready because we don't care. I mean, I don't care about all that if I'm playing. I don't care.
Oh, we would. Hey, we wouldn't. We would be like, but we wouldn't have been in this situation. We'd be like, we're gonna bust their ass.
Exactly. You guys wouldn't be worrying about what like you just came off of.
Yeah, just like the Arizona State game. We sat on the plane that night. Everybody was quiet. Well, everybody was asleep because we were tired as hell because it was so late. I mean, literally everybody was asleep. You could hear a pin drop on the plane because it was just that late. We were like, I've never been this tired in my life. But then that next week, I think K-State said something on the matter of, oh yeah, we can we see their one dimension. Something crazy. We were like, oh, they must think it's a game.
You gotta find something to feed off of, K-Dog.
And we went in there and beat the brakes off their ass in Manhattan. I think that's the game. That's the one.
How we did in Miami. I hung up paper clippings, all the stuff they was talking. You want to talk stuff? Okay, all right. I ain't gonna say nothing. I got me one too. God bless. But,
they said they talk so crazy.
Yeah,
I think they had 27 rushes for. I think defense held them boys a negative 27 yards. And that's the game. If you ever see it on YouTube, watch the game. Terrell, I'm standing by Coach Osborne. That's the game where the quarterback was back there and he went hit, and he was on the ground that quick. Terrell had him on the ground so fast he literally went hit. I'm standing by Coach Osborne. This man literally says, because Terrell did something like get back and hug Terrell. Then he says, I've never seen that. literally says, he's like, Terrell, get back and hug. He did something, Terrell, Coach Osborne came off, get back at Terrell. He's just like, I've never seen that. Don't watch that game, their first series. Terrell, they hyped the ball. It went hit that quick. And I think there's an interview out there with Coach Osborne talking about that because we had Terrell that year. We win the national championship. We beat
Arizona State. Yep.
And we beat Texas in the Big 12.
Yep.
He missed those 2 games. It's just what it is.
Not a coincidence.
If you can find an interview, Coach Osborne talk. He says that. He said he made a play I've never seen in my life. I've never seen that because we were on the sideline like, damn.
Terrell's
he said, K. Moss, he literally said, I've never seen that. And you've seen a lot of football.
That's what I was about to say. You hear that coming from somebody like Coach Osborne? Damn. You've done something, dude.
Because we were even like, we were like, what the hell happened? That's how fast he had it. We were like, what the hell?
That's it, huh? Brother
Yeah,
Wilson.
we were like, what the hell? And he
They blow the play dead? What happened?
And he dead. We like, oh shit. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Somebody need to do that nowadays.
Yeah.
They need to figure something out, man, because this is getting ridiculous here. You know, I mean, we just we 5-2, 6-2.
We still 5-2, but that loss was horrible.
That was
demoralizing, and man.
On the big stage too. Fox's big noon kickoff, and we're Fox's big noon kickoff again this next week for Ohio State.
God, hey, I felt watching that game. I literally felt like Eartha Kitt in Boomerang when they showed that bad video, and she was sitting there and she was like, "This is ridiculous."
I was like, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Oh my God, that's an old one, dude.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man. So what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do?
I went ahead and pulled. I think only like 4 things for Husker Twitter. Like I said, we ain't gonna have field generals of the week. So pretty simple ones. I think the first one I got was from Sam McEwen, I believe it is. Yeah. And it's from Matt Rule's presser. He tweeted out, Matt Rule said, quote, "I didn't see this coming. I thought we'd play great," end quote. Said he's, quote, "embarrassed by his own inability to get the team ready for the game." Now, that's exactly what we were just talking about a little bit ago, especially you, Kareem. Say, how can you say you didn't see this coming when you see this team scoring all these points in these games? But at least he acknowledges that he's embarrassed, as he should be, but also acknowledging that he's putting it on him as the inability to not have them ready to go. I mean, that's got to at least say something for the guy.
It says like you ever seen that? You ever heard of Captain Obvious?
Oh yeah,
He's speaking the obvious, man. We know that. If you're the head coach, bro, we know that.
Yeah, we all saw.
You're trying to lighten that load from I mean, come on. We need a different approach. We understand we're just as embarrassed. We're probably not as embarrassed as you are because you're the head coach. But we're just as embarrassed because we're supporting, you're not only the head coach, but the whole organization at Nebraska. That's what I mean. Yeah, man.
I hope the players back them up on this too, because I know to a certain extent it is the players' responsibility as well to execute the game plan in itself. So
I mean, it falls back on who can execute what needs to be executed. And can you reach those that need to execute what you're trying to get executed? It's the obvious. I mean, that's how it is.
Captain Obvious.
Ever since the game of football has been developed, or any game, it's a head coach, somebody leading. You're gonna get the accolades, just looks like you're gonna get the negative attention.
Yep.
But what that's, like I said, that's the obvious, man. We know that. We know that. So what you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? And if you execute, I'm sorry, Brian. I got
one. No. Go.
Since if you're a player, how you respond next week?
Right.
How you respond against Ohio State
right.
is going to show how much you care about this your head coach and
Yeah, you're gonna tuck your tail, or you're gonna be handling your business.
Because you can still lose and be like, okay, that's all right.
We competed.
You competed. I mean, that's all we're asking for.
And Indiana better not come out after this and lose to some team with a losing record or whatever after this. I will be pissed because I'm actually believing the hype on them right now.
Yeah, that's tough when you got that many people coming in and making plays.
Yeah.
Without that word, that's going to be hard to see. Unless they just have because they will get beat. They will get beat.
I would think so.
Excuse me, at least once. You're gonna get beat. Are you in the Big? What, you in the Big Ten, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna catch one.
I would think so. I mean, so far the only team that hasn't is Oregon.
Yep. They coming too. They gonna get one.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I mean,
now they balling now.
They will be ranked number. I guarantee they're ranked number 1 after this weekend.
Yeah, they're one Georgia's too.
Okay, I was gonna say Texas got spanked, so
yeah,
I'm all right with that. My wife wouldn't be, but I am.
We'll
I don't
see.
care.
They might, they might. We play Oregon.
No, we don't play them this year. Thank God.
Okay, not even if. I don't think we can make it to the championship.
It would be a tough road for us to make it to the Big Ten title game now.
Yeah.
With 2 losses in the conference, because I think our remaining games are Ohio State, Wisconsin, UCLA, Iowa,
and USC.
And USC. There we go. And USC's at USC. And I think we have Wisconsin and Lincoln. I'm not sure about that though.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
But we do travel to Iowa City against Iowa. So I don't know. I don't know how the rest of this year is going to shake out after what just happened. So,
well, let's get some get back next week against Ohio State.
Something.
Yeah.
Something.
They should believe that. They should have belief in themselves.
Show you care. You care.
Yeah.
All right, you guys will appreciate who this tweet was from because you all know him. Got old Clester Johnson in there.
Clicking. Clicking Johnson.
Look at him. Yep. He may say Trez Van Street.
Yeah, Trez Van Street.
He's something else.
It says
didn't
show up this week. Whatever they did this past week, scrap it.
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, pretty straight to the point. You had 2 weeks to prepare. Whatever you did didn't work. Throw that shit in the trash can. Get it out. Let it get to the compost heap. Bye-bye. Don't ever see that again. Don't ever use it again.
Nothing worked.
No.
How did we score 7 points?
That's the thing. That was a pretty good drive right there. I think it was helped later in the drive by, I think, a pass interference kept the drive going. But at the same time, they had a solid drive. That might have been the one where Dylan had one of those great touch passes to Fedoni just over the defender.
Yeah.
So they looked efficient at times. And like I said, putting together at least, I believe, 3 drives of 7 minutes or more, but having 0 points to show for it, you can't have that. You're doing what you want to do. You want to use clock. You want to wear down that defense, but then you got to put points on the board to pay that off.
Yeah, I think that fumble, that first drive, they lost a lot of momentum. Not the first drive, but when they was about to take it in and tie it up.
On 4th and 1. And if he didn't cough it up, he spun forward. He had the first down.
Yeah, he had the first. That's momentum right there. That's the whole.
Yeah.
The whole game don't ride on that one play, but you can definitely gain some momentum.
Yes.
For that.
Took a lot of air out of the sails for the offense.
I think they go down and score after that.
Yes, they did.
So now it's 14-0 instead of 7-7.
Yep. And that's the thing. I think it only took them 4 or 6 plays to score. Yep. Like it was boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it is.
All right. This one I got. I've used him on here before on Twitter, but I pulled this because of who it was that made the very first comment about it. And I had to appreciate it because it was Vincent Shavers Sr., who's obviously the dad of Vincent Shavers Jr., who plays for the defense at Nebraska. But it was a tweet by Foley Hust, and I love that name. It's hilarious. But he tweeted out, "How we feeling, Husker Nation? I want your honest, uncensored opinions. Don't sugarcoat. What's the problem?" And Vincent Shavers Sr. simply replied, "We will only go as far as our trenches take us. That's offensive trenches and defensive trenches." The reason I pulled that is because I 100% believe that. In my opinion, that game, the offensive line did not look very well. They weren't helping out the running game. There were times that Dylan had less than 3 seconds to figure out where to go with the ball. Then on the defensive side of the ball, we weren't getting any pressure with our front linemen. And at times when we did, it seemed to be a step behind And even when we brought blitzes, there was a couple times we got in there. I know we sacked him on a 4th and 9 or a 4th and 3, something like that early on in the game. But other than that, he's absolutely right. We lost that game on both sides of the ball in the trenches, not just on the scoreboard, but in those trenches. And you cannot win games if you're going to lose on both sides of the ball up front. You just can't.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Special teams too. Special teams trenches too. You got to put that in there.
Yeah.
Because they beat us.
Yeah, there was a couple that Buschini almost had blocked again yesterday. So, I mean, come on. Fix it. All right, I got one more for you. And this might be the first time I've actually pulled one of his tweets, which is a surprise to me because this guy's well known on Twitter. He's well liked by Husker Nation. He's a hell of a Husker fan. He's usually known as Corrupt Donkey. And it's Dr. Kool-Aid Donkey MD. And I love this guy. He's always hilarious on Twitter. He's got great snapbacks, great comebacks. But he says, some of y'all need to chill the fuck out. I'm upset, but it's our reality. This is a bad loss. No one's going to spin that, but firing people, and he puts that as a question mark. You fell into your own trap of expectations. Now, I pulled that because I agree that yes, we did. And I'm one of the ones that I constantly drink the Kool-Aid. I'm a Husker red till dead through and through. I will never believe we can't win a game. So I'm that type of homer. I'm that type of fan. But he's absolutely right. I fell into even my own expectations that a true freshman at quarterback, as young as he is going to come in and shine like he's going to go win a Super Bowl right off the bat. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. Hey, Kenny, I know you love to tell folks to just, like he said, chill the fuck out.
And my expectations for them to be superb. You know, I'm a realist. I said 6 to 7 wins this year.
Yep.
And that was that's just hoping we improve on the 5 and 7 from last year. Because I know, and Kareem can attest to this, we know their expectation is to hope to win games. Our expectations were we knew we were going to win the games. The losses were the shock. So I'll explain this time and time again. People say, what was the difference between you and them? And someone asked me online. I said, we expected to win games. We knew we were going to win games. That's what it was when you came there. That's what I can never go into a game. I don't ever recall, and Kareem can, and he'll second this, and I'm sure any other former player will second this during our time and before us, going into a game saying, man, I hope we win this game. This is gonna be a tough game. We're gonna have our hands full today. Our thing was let's go in here, let's tear their ass down. Gotta be careful how you say it in this climate, you know, beat the ass, knock the ass out. You know, we got the Kareem, we got the Diddy shit going on, brother. We got
Kenny about had his Diddy moment.
Hey, K Moss, I told him they can't use this. Kenny, wouldn't you like to catch balls from him and people? No Diddy. Catch football, passes. But anyway, our thing was let's go in here, thrash these fools and get back so we can get back home and do what we do.
Well, we didn't want the coach. We didn't want the coach bragging too much. I know we watching film. You know, we looking for weaknesses. You know, we trying to figure out what we can do to get them. You know, some coaches might be talking about how they fast, they this, that, and that. You know, I might be back there in the back, man. Fuck, man, we just as good as they are, coach. I don't care about them, but I know he coaching. You know, I know he coaching, but I'm like, man, we don't give a damn about them. Right. Like you do. We got different expectations. You know, we don't care about them like you do. I don't understand you coaching. I know we know what you're doing, but shut up. We don't care about all that.
We're gonna destroy these fools, get on the plane, get our little sandwich, go home and clown the rest of the night. That's
all. Get ready for next week.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it.
And that's when we wasn't getting paid. I wish we didn't pay. We'd probably put up more points on the board.
Oh man, and the saucy uniforms,
You know
buddy.
what I'm saying?
We would have hung 80 a game on them fools.
Man, we'd have had a ball, man. Give me all that stuff they got now, man. These
And they get
It's
facilities.
crazy.
they get the look fly too. Oh
Yeah.
my God, come
Look
on, man.
fly. Yeah.
I
Hey,
asked Dope one time. I said, "Hey man, because he around the program back or whatever." I said, "So what is it with these new guys? Do they have new knees, new ankles, new shoulders, or something?" Because when I was asking in 1994 for smaller pads, smaller shoulder pads, let me wear my pads above my knees, let me feel clean and fresh, let me feel sleek and ready.
Yeah.
It was no, because your injury. And I mean, I'm a receiver. I got on these Trev
Big
Hours
old-
pads, these Pat
You
Tyree
did, y'all did have them big old.
What are we doing
Cause
out here, man?
Cause y'all ass blocking. That's why.
Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to catch it and get going. You got me out here with
It's all good.
Pat Tyrus and shit. What is this, bro? Looking like the Sandman. Just give me a neck brace, brother. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's
Shit.
real. That's real, man. They got the short pads now, don't they?
Oh my God! I got
They
kicked
got-
out of the
they like-
game. Well, I had to go change my
yeah,
pads.
man.
They made me do that against Texas
Yeah.
Tech in '96. The ref, he was like, "Kenny, I told you," because they were, how they would come and do our practices in the summer. It was one of the refs. He said, "Kenny, I told you during the summer you can't be wearing your pads like that. Now go in there and change them." I had to go in the locker room and change my pads against Texas Tech in '96.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Hey, speaking of the uniforms, I got to admit, in my opinion, who won the weekend for alternate uniforms, I got to go with Illinois. They did this throwback to the 1920s uniforms they had.
Yeah,
and
I saw those.
Their helmets were all hand painted to look like the old leather helmets without the face masks. And my God, they really did look like them.
Yeah, it looked like the leather helmets. Yeah, it was the dark their old original colors with the leather helmets. And they just had a black face mask on a dark blue.
It looked good. The helmets really got me. I was like, and especially all of them being 100% hand painted. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, I got to give them credit for that. It was, I don't know, a cool throwback. I mean, it was cool when Nebraska did it for the Memorial Stadium tribute. But in my opinion, I think Illinois did it just a tad bit better, and it was because of the damn helmets. So I like the leather helmet look. Can't help it. All right, guys. Well, I mean, shit. We talked about this crap for over an hour now. And I'm surprised we did, truthfully. Yeah. So that's really all it was. I mean, it wasn't good start to finish. Hopefully, we don't see a repeat this next week when we go to Ohio State. But let's not hold our breath just yet. So I will go ahead and
I'm muted for some reason.
Oh, that's all right. I see it pop up there a couple times there, but hasn't affected anything at least. You haven't been muted anytime you've talked. That's the good part. So as long as that doesn't happen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We're just about ready. Yeah, see, there you go. Now you're good. All right, we'll go ahead and shut her down now anyway. It's that time. That's all right. How you doing, Kareem? You still see us? How you doing?
He might have froze. I think his computer froze.
Oh, it did. That's all right, though. We got through the episode. Let's see if I can get him back on here. Hold on. Let's see.
The one and only K Moss.
There we go. I think I got him back there. Maybe
can you hear
sound
us?
More. If he can at least hear us, that's a plus. Oh, I'm thinking. I can hear him.
Can you hear us, K Moss?
I think I can hear him moving around.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. There's Brent. Okay. Okay, I see. All right, no problem. I'm not going to use the keyboard over here because that thing's a pain in the butt, so I'll just message him real quick. I'll just let him know.
I wrote something to him.
Okay. Yeah, just let them know we're just about to shut it down anyway, so no big deal.
All right. There he's gone.
All righty. Yeah, let me go ahead.
People don't dance no more. Yeah.
All right. Well, Kenny, I mean, everybody knows where to find Kareem, I think. I'm friends with him on Facebook. You can find him it's spelled Coach Moss with Coach with a K. So make sure to check that. If you want to follow him on Instagram, I believe it's Remo Star. REEMOSTARR.
Kareem.
Let's see. Maybe we got him back. Maybe we got it back.
I hear y'all. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
There we go.
Just in time, dude. I was trying to tell people where to find you on Facebook and Instagram, but you can do it a hell of a lot better than I can. So go right ahead, my friend.
Oh, I'm Coach Moss. I'm Coach Moss on Facebook and Remo Star on Instagram. And you can hit me
And
up
I think
there,
I had it
Moss.
right.
Yeah, you had it right, Brian.
Yeah.
I can't believe I got that right. Usually I get shit wrong like that all the time, dude. Ask Kenny. It's ridiculous. All right.
Man, it's
so
been real, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
It's always a good time to have you on, dude. When we had you on last season, I was like, I can't wait to have him on again.
Yeah, Brian texted me, said, Kareem coming on. I said, oh, yeah.
Let's get it, man.
He said, we had a good time last time. Yeah.
Oh,
I did, man. I might have had too much of a good time last time.
That's all right, though. It made for a hell of an episode, dude. I didn't mind one damn bit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. That's why I like doing things like this.
That's right, man. Well, yeah, anytime, man. You know, y'all just reach out to me, man. Whatever, you know.
Got you,
always going to keep in touch just to see at least how you're doing anyway.
Right. I'm going to try to make it back to Lincoln for the season over with so I can catch another game.
I might try.
Good deal.
We'll see.
Yeah, Kenny, it's getting too cold for you now. You ain't got you. Every time he comes back, and it's a little bit cold, man. This guy gets a cold.
Yep.
Yeah, it's warm down there now, all the time down there where he at.
Yeah. We just got the temperature change, believe it or not, yesterday.
Yeah.
It went from 100. It dropped down to 64. It's 64 outside right now.
Ooh, that's a big drop, bro.
That's gotta feel good.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's the overcast, the wind blowing, it rained. 64, nice and cool. Kind of like it was the day of that game before it got nighttime and the wind picked up. So that's cool and nice.
Yeah.
We need that here, man. It's been toasty. Shit.
Yeah, that's 100. That's hot, bro.
That's normal. Shit, that's normal.
All right, everybody.
All right,
you guys know where to find Kareem. Of course, you know where to find Kenny. You find him on Instagram and Twitter at HuskerNoop1911. You'll find us, the show, right there at Husker Army Pod. Of course, if you find us on YouTube, make sure to leave us a like and subscribe. Click that bell notification. You'll know when we got our uploads. And, of course, audio-only platforms. You got Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever the hell the Amazon one is. If you use it, you know what it's called. I don't. So I apologize. And then, of course, you'll find the merch, herdatsports.com. Click on the pop-down window, find Husker Army. You'll see all the merch right there. So we're done with this one. Thank God. We got to move on to next week. I'm not going to hold my breath right now, but hopefully we're talking a little bit better than what we're talking this week. So I guess at this point, there's just one last thing to do. In Husker Army, you know what that is? At ease, you are all dismissed.
A Herd at Sports Network production.